The movie is Y2K, which was written and directed by Kyle Mooney. The film follows Eli and Danny, two best friends looking to party and hang out with their school crushes on the very last night of 1999. The high school juniors successfully crash a New Year's Eve party, but when midnight hits, everything goes dark. The Y2K nightmare becomes a reality, and the two find themselves in a battle of man versus machine as they engage in a fight for their lives. So I want to say first off that I am a huge Kyle Mooney fan. I've been a fan since his YouTube days. I've watched every Good Neighbor Stuff video more times than I can count. I loved all of the sketches that he wrote and acted in for Saturday Night Live. I just think he's a brilliant comedic mind, and I'm automatically in on anything he's behind creatively. That being said, I felt disappointed after I saw Y2K. And part of it for sure is because I had very high expectations for this movie. A disaster movie that calls back to the nostalgia of the 90s is right up my alley. And then the fact that Kyle Mooney wrote, directed, and is starring in the film made me think this would absolutely be a home run. But unfortunately, it pains me to say I didn't love the way this one came out. I think one of the biggest issues for me was I felt like it didn't go all in on being silly and outrageous and over the top. There were moments of that, and when they happened, I loved it. But when the film tried to be more grounded in the coming-of-age aspect of the narrative is when it felt a little more stale. The story of these two outcasts in high school looking to party with the popular kids, hoping to kiss the popular girl, felt kind of formulaic, which I think would have been fine if that formula would have been totally broken after the Y2K disaster strikes. And it is briefly in the 20 minutes or so following, which was my favorite part of the movie. But the rest of the movie largely clings to that same narrative of the struggles of high school and doesn't really focus on the insanity of the Y2K disaster that they find themselves in. There's a big swing taken early on in the film, which I very much appreciated at the time, but then as the film went on, you kind of realized it in a lot of ways limited the film's potential. The plot had a lot of potential to be an interesting, original spin on a funny disaster movie, and it ended up being fairly uninteresting and somewhat predictable. Ultimately, this all culminated into a movie that I just didn't connect with in the way that I thought I would. Now, having said all that, I do want to talk about some of the positives of the movie. The movie was generally very funny. And as I mentioned earlier, when it was fully committed to the bit and willing to just be stupid and dumb, was when it shined brightest. There were also some great performances from Julian Dennison, and it obviously goes without saying Kyle Mooney did a fantastic job. I loved all of the scenes that had either of these two on screen, and the both of them truly were paramount to the comedic success of the movie. There were some really awesome needle drops that also perfectly capitalized on the 90s aesthetic that the film worked to build. And there was a fantastic cameo that I think is a wonderful addition to the movie because this person is essentially a personification of the 90s. Kyle Mooney and A24 are doing some really cool things too, like putting out a playable Y2K VHS and a companion soundtrack CD. Kyle Mooney also put out a hilarious promo video for the movie on his personal YouTube channel, and it just makes me wish he would consistently keep making those YouTube videos because he really is a master of that craft. When it's all said and done, I'm incredibly happy to have gone out and seen this movie because truly, I want to support Kyle Mooney and his future endeavors as much as I possibly can. So while I may have left the theater disappointed, I encourage you all to go out and see this movie and make your own decision as to whether or not you like it. Your movie ticket will be supporting an independent filmmaker who managed to write, direct, and star in his own feature film, which I think in and of itself makes it worth your time. So go watch Y2K. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, add a comment letting me know what movie you think I should review next, and subscribe to my channel. I put out a movie review each week, so subscribe to stay tuned. Thanks, y'all.